So Kevin and I wanted to send out a public apology to anyone who was offended in the last webisode. Thought it over, spoke to my mom who watched it and said, peeing outside is not acceptable. But nobody says anything about number 2. And when you gotta go, you gotta go. At least I'm reading about recording. And this is what this is all about. Webisode number 2, all about guitars.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we are back at Uplift. So yeah, recording. Jason set the scene, so to speak, and there was a couple people that asked about it. You know, how you record a record, what gets used, all that crap. So last time the guitar room where I keep all my cabs was a little dim. So consider I never really go in there, they're all hardwired. I'll just bring you in, you can check some shit out over here. So yeah, Crate Cabs, vintage 30 speakers, sponsored, so I had a bunch of cabs. I got 2 here in the studio right now. Run through a Marshall power brake, crank the crap out of the amp, keep the volume going to the cabs a little bit lower, but that gets real balls of power tubes out. 1968 Marshall cab, tall, really cool for some vintage tones, get some classic shit going on. Versus a couple of Fender Tone Master cabs, vintage 30s in there too. 4x12, 2x12 underneath. Got Demeter ISO cab down there with a vintage 30 in it as well. And that was the first cab I ever bought, Marshall, just a regular 1960A top with the 75 watt Celestions in it. The SVT's not here right now. It'll be back shortly. Had some gigs, had some other stuff it had to do, so it took off. That's what I use for bass, SVT, and some other stuff in here. So why don't we go in here and we can go through, let's go through some guitars first, over this way here. I'm not going to start pulling all of them off because there's tons of them, but why don't we start with the Gold Top. Not much of a better guitar than this. Rock at its finest. Great fucking thick tones, beefy, ballsy. Considering doing the record, the new stuff and the last actual Slaves on Dope record, we did it in C tuning, so it was a lot lower, a lot more, needed bigger strings. I think what we'll be using, I had this set up recently. It's my first Les Paul. It's just a studio, but I put EMGs in it, some 81s in it. I use it on a record actually I just produced about a month ago, and it sounds fucking rad. Got big fat 12s on it, and yeah, it's bitchin'. And then over here, come back here there. This is the guitar I used on the Metaphor record, pretty much the whole record. And I know it's only an LTD hybrid, and they're only about 300 bucks. But dude, this guitar, it's a set neck, nothing really better than this. Sounds fucking killer. This is my first guitar, so if there's any whammy bar stuff on the record where I need one, it'll be done with this. And this was a custom build by Red Bull and ESP for me. This is a pretty badass guitar too. Don't know if it'll be used on the record though. I got too many fucking guitars. So let's just leave it at that. And let's walk over here. Gear wise, as far as amps go, obviously can't go wrong with a JCM 800. This is a Crate BV300, super underrated amp. It's really too bad they stopped making it because it's got 2 huge transformers in it. It fucking rules. Tone Master, and of course the metal amp. Original Blockhead logo 5150. That's the shit. Down here, if you look, dual rectifier, Soldano, Bogner, and VHT. Everything runs to the VHT there. Sans amp up here for bass. Use that in conjunction with the SVT. Over here, compressors, 1176, LA2A clone, distressor, need the distressor, LA4s, some Ashleys, underrated. Over this way, some mic pre's, Chameleon Labs, those are 1073 clones, which is basically this, some APIs, API EQs, some Vintech stuff. The Art, that's an old multi-effect I used to use live God knows how long ago. Ward Beck pre, really cool pre. Some converters over here. But this is the shit right here. This is what all the drums go through. And pretty much anything else that I want some really fucking cool tones. It's a Neve console 5432, excuse me. 8 channels. I got it custom built with outputs on every channel, so I can use it, pretty much use it for every record I do as a producer, and we'll use it on the Slave stuff for drums. Some NS10 monitors, got to have those, and some Adam P33s to get it really cranked and really loud. So I know it's really fucking boring and dry shit. We'll go check out the vocal mic over here because it's pretty much the quintessential. And I know you saw it in the last one, but in case anybody didn't see, that's the U87. That's pretty much what you got to use for vocals if you want good vocal tones. So I don't know what else there is to say really. Just a lot of gear, really boring shit if you're not into it. I wish I had something witty to say and really fucking stupid and crazy, but we got that out of the way in the beginning. Stay tuned next week. Probably a little bit of a surprise. We're trying to get something sorted out. I won't say what yet, but something pretty cool. Yeah, so take care, have a good week, and see you in week 3.